Hi, I'm Phil Grande, philsgang.com. It's always about fees. That's right. It's always about fees. When you're investing in anything, it's about fees, but especially 401ks. Let me explain to you how you get screwed with a 401k. Nobody will tell you this. You'll be told with a $25,000 investment, your 401k will return 7%, and over 30 years, you'll retire with a nest egg of $226,000 with a fee of 0.5%. That is a lie. Do you know if you just bump it from 0.5% to 1.5%, that $226,000 drops to 160 with 2% fee? It drops to 123. But you know what most fees are? 3%. So you're going to drop almost below $100,000. Join my gang, philsgang.com, and get rid of that 401k. It is not for your benefit.
Isn't it time you reduce your fear of investing? Find out more at philsgang.com, philsgang.com, or call 877-600-4264. 877-600-4264. 877-600-4264.
As a mother, you don't want to have to worry about this bill is coming, but then she needs this chemo. That's a decision you shouldn't have to make.
At St. Jude, a family never sees a bill at all. It's like the world has been lifted off of your shoulders.
The treatment doesn't get any better than what you receive at St. Jude. It saved my life. It saved my daughter's life. It saved our family.
St. Jude Children's Research Hospital. Finding cures. Saving children. Learn more at stjude.org.
Hi, I'm Phil Grande at philsgang.com. Everybody says, I hear it everywhere, no matter where I go, I'm not going to get in the stock market because it's rigged. And I think, what are you, nuts? That's exactly why I want to get into the market. Here, listen to this.
We front-loaded at the Federal Reserve an enormous rally in order to accomplish the wealth effect.
But we front-loaded at the Federal Reserve an enormous rally. So are you telling me you don't want to get into a market where they front-loaded an enormous rally, where they fixed it to go up? You don't want to get in? What are you, nuts? Of course you want to get in. See, your fear is, once you get in, you're fearful you're not going to get out in time. Well, that fear is gone. That's why I designed the Max Investor 1000 for the color-coded technology. It'll get you out before it crashes. Believe me. Join my gang, philsgang.com.
Isn't it time you reduce your fear of investing? Find out more at philsgang.com, philsgang.com, or call 877-600-4264, 877-600-4264, 877-600-4264.
It's pretty amazing when you consider that 7 years ago, we didn't have the treatments we have now. We cure 80% of children with cancer. Go back 50 years, we were curing 20 to 30%. This is the miracle story of modern medicine. We understand what makes this cancer tick. And of course, without donors from around the world, this just couldn't happen. There's one thing we're focused on, and that's beating this thing.
St. Jude Children's Research Hospital. Finding cures. Saving children. Learn more at stjude.org.
Hi, I'm Phil Grande at philsgang.com. You know, most people get involved with a 401k because of the employer match. They really believe that there's free money. There's no free money. It's a scam. Here's how it works. You ever notice that you can't get the money all at once? Why not? Why don't they just give you the match all at once? Why over 6 years? Because they know only 12% of the people who work for a company stay for 6 years or more. Only 12% are there for 6 years. That's why they plugged it to 6 years. They know you're not going to stay. So it's not for your benefit. It's for the benefit of the company. It's a scam. There's an alternative, though. Phil's Gang. Join my gang. philsgang.com. philsgang.com.
Find out more at philsgang.com, philsgang.com, or call 877-600-4264, 877-600-4264, 877-600-4264, 877-600-4264. Are you ready to get serious about your financial future? You know, reduce your debt, pay off those student loans, and prepare for retirement. Taking control of your finances can be intimidating, but with philsgang.com, you will be educated and guided to make smart investment decisions in the stock market. If the market is up or down, philsgang.com is the only source where you'll learn how to trade stocks and how to invest in the stock market using professional-level skills and strategies. For more information, go to philsgang.com or call 877-600-GANG, 877-600-4264. That's 877-600-4264.
As a mother, you don't want to have to worry about this bill is coming, but then she needs this chemo. That's a decision you shouldn't have to make.
El que St. Jude no cobra ni un centavo para nosotros significa quitarnos todo ese estrés, esa preocupación y podernos enfocar en nuestra hija.
That was the first thing I was like, how are we going to do this? When St. Jude told us that we didn't have to pay a single bill, I was like, wow. they pretty much have saved us.
It's like the world has been lifted off of your shoulders, and now your focus is supporting this child.
There is not another hospital like St. Jude. The patient care is unmatchable. It saved my life. It saved my daughter's life. It saved our family.
Hi, I'm Phil Grande at philsgang.com. You know, people make it too complicated. Wall Street tells you the market cap and the trailing PE and the forward PE and price to sales to confuse you. All you need to know is, does the stock have volume? What's that mean? Energy. What does that mean? If you have people buying a stock, enough of the stock's being bought, it influences the prices to go up. Join my gang, philsgang.com. We're using charting, philsgang.com.
For more information, go to philsgang.com or give us a call. That's 877-600-4264. The stocks discussed on Phil's Gang are not in any way a recommendation or solicitation to buy, sell, or hold. If considering acting on information presented, we first recommend you seek out a competent, licensed professional for advice. Get ready for the radio show that tells you what Wall Street doesn't want you to know.
Oh, I'm a money magnet. Money coming to me. Money sets me free. I'm a money magnet. Money's coming to me.
It's your daily dose of how to manage your money. And now it's time for Phil's Gang on the Off the Wall Street Radio Network. With your host, Phil Grande.
Everything that was work-related, every single thing. I turned over every work-related email in my possession. What we turned over were more than 30,000 emails that I assumed were already in the government system.
The State Department says up to 30 emails may be related to the attack which killed 4 Americans, and they were not turned over by Clinton. They were among the thousands of deleted messages recovered by the FBI.
Hillary Clinton said under oath that she turned over all of her work-related emails. But we now know that is just one more Clinton lie. Another 30 emails were discovered by the State Department that Hillary Clinton failed to turn over. These were emails about Benghazi.
Sorry, 30 missing emails about Benghazi? That just doesn't help.
It's still mushier and gushier.
No, it's not mushy.
It's mushier
than
Trump's soundbite.
People are not that dumb.
It's not a matter of dumb. The Trump, what's baked in, people go, yes, she's untrustworthy. We get it. What's baked into Trump is he's dangerous and unstable.
Well, that's
unstable, true. Trump's untrustworthy. She's not changing untrustworthy.
I'm just saying what we've been saying.
Not changing.
Welcome to Phil's Gang. Coast to coast around the country, off the Wall Street Radio Network. That foundation is a vast criminal conspiracy. Remember, it added $2 billion to the Clinton Foundation, raised another $1 billion for Hillary's second run for the presidency. It is disgusting. Unbelievable. And remember, all of that money that was donated to help the earthquake victims in India and Haiti, to help with AIDS, all that. Bunch of nonsense. Most of that money went to the Clintons. Last night, I was watching with my wife, Marta. I couldn't believe it. This new channel called One America News. They had about an hour program that tracked and identified where the money went. It is so disgusting. Called Clinton Cash. Clinton Cash. I mean, it was so disgusting. I mean, I knew this guy was a crook, and she was. Okay, but when you see this documentary, I mean, it's really documented. I mean, it's not anything really new. Corporations have been doing this for decades. The corporations have built an entire global economy, okay, and by being crooked. But we'll get to all that in a moment. Let's go and take a look and see what the stock market's doing right now. The market's down only 65 points. The market's running out of total steam. There's no volume in the market because, well, first of all, tomorrow or Friday we got the job number day, and ADP came out, said about 175,000 jobs. You can't depend on ADP because ADP can be off 100,000. They're so bad, you can't even trust the ADP number. It's so bad. So what we're looking at right now is a stock market that's been consulted, just going sideways. The volume is gone from the market. And they're going to have to come up with QE4 pretty soon. They really are. I mean, there's a real problem. And CNBC or none of these people talk about it. I told you yesterday, one of the biggest problems we have right now is most of the oil-producing countries buy our debt. They go and buy 10-year treasuries from us. But they're not buying as many 10-year treasuries. That's a real problem. Matter of fact, they've lightened up about $350 billion. They bought like $350 billion less this year than they did last year. That's not good because by buying that 10-year treasury from us, it keeps the interest rate, the yields low on that 10-year treasury. That keeps your house mortgage down. That keeps your car, your credit card, all that stuff down. And it's going to start rising because they're walking away because the oil prices are so bad. They need that money back home. So they don't have that extra money to come here and buy our debt. And that's going to be a real problem. So they're going to have to jump in. The Federal Reserve is going to have to jump in. The plunger team is going to have to jump in. They're going to have to do QE4. Get the printing machine going. They need to buy all the debt. That's what's going to have to happen. They're going to have to buy all the debt. So, and when I talk about the plunger team, that's the chair of the Federal Reserve, which is on B. That's the chair of the SEC, the chair of the CFTC, Commodities Future Trading Commission, and they're the ones who, in the chair of the Treasury, every day they get together. They decide where do they want the market to go. They manipulate the stock market. That's what they do. They print money and manipulate. They make the decision. These chair people make the decision. And, you know, they made the decision to keep the interest rates low. They keep printing and printing this money. And they manipulate the financial markets. And by keeping the interest rates so low, and by manipulating our markets using 0% money, they've crushed our economy. They crushed our capitalism. They crushed it. All they did is inflate the stock prices for the very wealthy, the 5 percentile. The 5 percentile of this country have all their money in the stock markets. That's where their money is. That's how they make their money. They're very, very wealthy. And so all it's done is make them more wealthy, but it's made Main Street poor. And it's harmed the economy. It was all done it was planned to make them wealthy. It's really bad. So QE is coming closer because companies are getting in really bad shape now. There are many S&P 500 companies are paying out more money than they're taking in. Nobody's talking about this. It's amazing. The S&P 500 companies, as an aggregate, are paying out more money than they're taking in. Nobody's talking about it. The stock market, think about it, is just 1% away from all-time new high due to a latest surge of 20% in the stock prices. Remember, we got that big surge on the employment numbers back in June and July and August. It was all phony. But it really surged because of the stock buybacks, which in essence, what that does is lowers the share count. Oh, it does lower the share count. So to artificially increase earnings, that artificially pushes the stock price higher on the S&P 500. And that's how we got 1% away from an all-time high. In essence, for the first 6 months, think about this, for the first 6 months of the year, the S&P 500 paid out 112% of their earnings, their profits, in the form of either a dividend or share buyback. That is nuts. And because earnings growth continue to be so negative, 5 quarters in a row, these companies will be paying out more money in the way of dividends and stock buybacks than what they take in revenues. That's how the stock market crashed in 2008. We're right back where we were. Because when you are doing that, that puts real pressure on the stock price, and it causes the stock price to drop as they have to cut back, these companies, on stock buybacks and dividends that they give out. Exactly what happened in 2008. And, it's just the corporate debt in buying all this, getting all this money. It may be zero, but there's still corporate debt. And by borrowing all this money so they could buy their own shares back, you add up all their corporate debt compared to the earnings they're putting out. Their debt is at an all-time high. What are you, nuts? Remember, the debt has doubled in the last 5 years to buy back their own shares. It's going to kill them like it did in 2008. More when we get back. Join my gang, Phil's Gang. We'll be right back. Here on Phil's Gang. It's 15 past the hour. What are you, nuts?
Want more information on this show? Go to philsgang.com or give them a call at 877-600-GANG.
Hi, I'm Phil Grande, philsgang.com. It's always about fees. That's right. It's always about fees. When you're investing in anything, it's about fees, but especially 401ks. Let me explain to you how you get screwed with a 401k. Nobody will tell you this. You'll be told with a $25,000 investment, your 401k will return 7%, and over 30 years, you'll retire with a nest egg of $226,000 with a fee of 0.5%. That is a lie. Do you know if you just bump it from 0.5% to 1.5%, that $226,000 drops to $160 with 2% fee? It drops to $123. But you know what most fees are? 3%. So you're going to drop almost below $100,000. Join my gang, philsgang.com, and get rid of that 401k. It is not for your benefit.
Isn't it time you reduce your fear of investing? Find out more at philsgang.com, philsgang.com, or call 877-600-4264. 877-600-4264. 877-600-4264.
Hi, I'm Phil Grande at philsgang.com. You hear me talk about 401ks every day on my radio show. Why? Because it's such a disservice. 89 million Americans have a 401k. There's 638,000 plans. And the father of the 401k, Ted Brenner, even admitted they're a scam. He doesn't endorse them anymore because of the ridiculous fees. You got to get away from those fees. Remember, every 1% fee, they take 30% of your retirement money. The average fund is 2.5%. 60% of the money is going to be gone when you're ready to retire. You don't need to do that. There's an alternative. Join my gang, philsgang.com. philsgang.com. Seek out the alternative. Give yourself a break. philsgang.com. Sign up today.
Find out more at philsgang.com, philsgang.com, or call 877-600-4264, 877-600-4264, 877-600-4264. Are you ready to get serious about your financial future? Reduce your debt, pay off those student loans, and prepare for retirement. Taking control of your finances can be intimidating, but with philsgang.com, you'll be educated and guided to make smart investment decisions in the stock market. If the market is up or down, philsgang.com is the only source where you'll learn how to trade stocks and how to invest in the stock market using professional-level skills and strategies. For more information, go to philsgang.com or call 877-600-GANG, 877-600-4264. That's 877-600-4264.
Hi, I'm Phil Grande, philsgang.com. It's always about fees. That's right. It's always about fees. When you're investing in anything, it's about fees, but especially 401ks. Let me explain to you how you get screwed with a 401k. Nobody will tell you this. You'll be told with a $25,000 investment, your 401k will return 7%, and over 30 years, you'll retire with a nest egg of $226,000 with a fee of 0.5%. That is a lie. Do you know if you just bump it from 0.5% to 1.5%, that $226,000 drops to $160 with 2% fee? It drops to $123. But you know what most fees are? 3%. So you're going to drop almost below $100,000. Join my gang, philsgang.com, and get rid of that 401k. It is not for your benefit.
Isn't it time you reduce your fear of investing? Find out more at philsgang.com, philsgang.com, or call 877-600-4264. 877-600-4264. 877-600-4264.
As a mother, you don't want to have to worry about this bill is coming, but then she needs this chemo. That's a decision you shouldn't have to make.
At St. Jude, a family never sees a bill at all. It's like the world has been lifted off of your shoulders.
The treatment doesn't get any better than what you receive at St. Jude. It saved my life. It saved my daughter's life. It saved our family.
St. Jude Children's Research Hospital. Finding cures, saving children. Learn more at stjude.org.
Do you invest in a 401k or an IRA? Did you know you could lose 30, 40, even 50% of your investments when the market crashes? It's time you take control of your investments. For over 15 years, philsgang.com's Phil Grande has been teaching, coaching, and investing right along with all Phil's Gang members, making profits when the market is up or down. philsgang.com posts daily market updates, has a live investing class, and all material is archived. Sounds too good to be true? Why not join thousands of satisfied Phil's Gang customers today? Go to philsgang.com, philsgang.com, or call 877-600-GANG. That's 877-600-4264. 877-600-4264.
For more information, simply go to philsgang.com or call 877-600-GANG. That's 877-600-4264.
philsgang.com.
Welcome back to the Phil's Gang Show. This segment is brought to you by the Max Investor 1000 Stock Charts. For more information, go to philsgang.com. Stock Corner is brought to you by the Phil's Gang Max Investor 1000 Stock Charts.
And welcome back to Phil's Game. Going to take a look at some stocks right now. You know, every day I talk about my MV2 chart, and I tell you that I'll give it to you free for 4 weeks. All you have to do is join the gang. It's only $39.95 for a month. And then during that month, you can use my MV2 free. Learn how to use it. So simple, so easy. It's color-coded. Green, you buy. Red, you get out. And all month, I give you stocks that, I tell you, hey, look, it just turned from red to green and went up 20%. This one turned from red to green, went up 30%. But here's where it's most important. And this is why a person needs it. I don't care if you're in a 401k. You got to know when to get out of stocks. I keep telling you what's going on. I tell you, we're going to have the biggest crash ever. All that's holding up this market right now is stock buybacks. That's what's holding up. And the manipulation from the plunger team. Now, the problem is that they've manipulated this market so much with 0% money that the corporations are dying. They just got so much debt. Even though it's free money, they got to pay it back. And the problem is it's not working. Their revenues not covering their debt. This is what happened in 2008. Listen to this.
It's not a hard call to suggest that a negative interest rate has been artificially produced and therefore manipulated by central banks. Sure. I think even Janet Yellen would agree, or Stan Fisher would agree. I think they both would say, however, that those negative interest rates and that quantitative easing have elevated asset prices. Absolutely.
And the first 6 months of this year, the S&P 500 companies paid out 112% of their earnings in the form of either a dividend or share buyback. How can you do that when your earnings are negative? How can you do it? You can't. So as earnings growth continue to be negative 5 quarters in a row, companies are paying out more money in the way of dividends and stock buybacks than they're taking in revenues. That catches up to you. It caught up in 2008. That puts all kinds of pressure on the stock price. It causes the stock price to drop. Yeah, drop. But they've been holding the price up artificially. They keep holding it up. But here's the problem. They got in 2008, the same thing. At some point when you're taking in less money than you're spending, you got to start cutting back. You got to start cutting back on the stock buybacks. And it's the stock buybacks that's holding up your stock price artificially, because all you're doing with stock buybacks is you lessen the amount of shares that are available for people to buy. So that means you're spreading your earnings around fewer shares, so you get an artificial earnings bump, all fake, all artificial, because you reduce the amount of shares. Then that pushes the stock price up, all artificial. So they've been doing this with stock buyback, $650 billion a year. So you want to be prepared. Because remember, they've been able to sell their debt. So if they're spending, let's say, $1 million a year more than they're taking in, they could sell that. They would sell that debt called corporate debt. People love to buy corporate debt. But the problem is they can't sell it anymore. Oh, they can sell it. It's still in demand. So if a company's taking in $1 million more than it's paying out, and they need to get $1 million, they just sell corporate debt. But the problem is now that the rates are going up. So the debt has doubled in the last 5 years. So now they want more rate. They want more interest. They're taking risks. So corporations now can't, even if there's demand for their debt, they can't sell it because they can't pay the interest. It'll kill them. They put themselves in a trap. It's unbelievable. So companies, they can issue all the debt they want. They try to sell it to cover their negative cash flow, but they're putting their head in the hole. They're putting their head in a trap even further. You know, these stock buybacks are all great. That's great. It's a fake improvement in per share earnings, as I told you. It's a fake improvement in performance. It's all fake. It's all a piece of the financial engineering put together by the plunger team to fake it. It increases their leverage, but it does nothing to improve the company. It does nothing for the company, but worse, it does nothing for the employees. The company starts going downhill. The factory starts going down. The property goes down here. The equipment gets old. The machinery gets old. The IT information technology gets outdated. And when the economy ever does come back, we're really screwed. Because when the economy comes back, we are not going to be ready. But Canada will be ready. Germany will be ready. All our competitors will be ready. China will be ready. But we're going to be sitting there with machinery that's 30 years old that we never replaced. So that the CEO could make an extra $25 million that year. And the biggest shareholder could make another $15 million. Isn't that unbelievable what's going on? So even with the economy coming back, it's not going to help because it takes too much time to gear up. First of all, you got rid of most of all your good people. You got to bring them back, start training them. Then you got to replace the crap you got with new tools, new machinery. And that's going to put you behind 2 years just to gear up. So when they say, oh, the economy's going to come back, we're going to boom. No, you're not. Everybody else is going to boom but us. See, this is why our economy's not growing. It's growing at 1%. It's so dangerous. Now, when the market crashes, I want you to be a gang member. You don't have to be to get the MV2. It's just to get it you have to be a gang member for 4 weeks to get it for free. But here's what I'm going to show you. Let's take our stock gold. We've done so well on gold mining stocks, but it's turned green. It turned green on Friday, August 12th. Now it's red. So we knew, hey, it went from green to red. We're up over 120%. But now we knew, hey, time to take profits. And so it's dropped from 31.30 down to where it is today, $25. So it dropped 17%. So that means you can make 17% return as it goes down. But even if you didn't, you knew when to get out. That's the value. That's why you should get this thing for the next 4 weeks and try it for free. We'll be right back.
Want more information on this show? Go to philsgang.com or give them a call at 877-600-GANG.
Hi, I'm Phil Grande at philsgang.com. Everybody says, I hear it everywhere, no matter where I go, I'm not going to get into the stock market because it's rigged. And I think, what are you, nuts? That's exactly why I want to get into the market. Here, listen to this.
We front-loaded at the Federal Reserve an enormous rally in order to accomplish a wealth effect.
But we front-loaded at the Federal Reserve an enormous rally. So are you telling me you don't want to get into a market where they front-loaded an enormous rally, where they fixed it to go up? You don't want to get in? What are you, nuts? Of course you want to get in. See, your fear is, once you get in, you're fearful you're not going to get out in time. Well, that fear is gone. That's why I designed the Max Investor 1000 for the color code technology. It'll get you out before it crashes. Believe me. Join my gang, philsgang.com.
Isn't it time you reduce your fear of investing? Find out more at philsgang.com. philsgang.com. or call 877-600-4264, 877-600-4264, 877-600-4264.
Hi, I'm Phil Grande at philsgang.com. You hear me talk about 401ks every day on my radio show. Why? Because it's such a disservice. 89 million Americans have a 401k. There's 638,000 plans. And the father of the 401k, Ted Brenner, even admitted they're a scam. He doesn't endorse them anymore because of the ridiculous fees. You got to get away from those fees. Remember, every 1% fee, they take 30% of your retirement money. The average fund is 2.5%. 60% of the money is going to be gone when you're ready to retire. You don't need to do that. There's an alternative. Join my gang, philsgang.com. philsgang.com. Seek out the alternative. Give yourself a break. philsgang.com. Sign up today.
Find out more at philsgang.com, philsgang.com, or call 877-600-4264, 877-600-4264, 877-600-4264. Phil Grande is a career businessman who has also been an entrepreneur all his life. He has used his business skills to take companies on the abyss of bankruptcy and bringing them back to profitability. Phil has been honored by Inc. magazine for the 500 fastest growing privately held companies and has been recognized with the prestigious Entrepreneur of the Year award. From the real estate to gas and oil industries to the stock market, Phil Grande has mastered his line of business from start to finish. And with a passion and desire to make you a profitable investor, only Phil teaches you and guides you to make informed, unemotional investment decisions. And you'll gain the knowledge of what Wall Street doesn't want you to know. If you want to learn from the best and strengthen your ability to invest, then turn to Phil Grande and philsgang.com. Simply call Phil's Gang at 877-600-GANG. That's 877-600-4264. Or go to philsgang.com.
Hi, I'm Phil Grande, philsgang.com. We're a teaching format. Boy, do we give good service. You know, buying a stock doesn't have to be complicated. The reason why Wall Street makes it complicated is so to make you think you need to hire them. You can do better without them, believe me, because you're not going to have those big fees. Come to Phil's Gang, where we'll show you an easy way to buy a stock. philsgang.com, where we don't make it complicated but profitable.
For more information, go to philsgang.com or give us a call. That's 877-600-4264.
As a mother, you don't want to have to worry about this bill is coming, but then she needs this chemo. That's a decision you shouldn't have to make.
El que San Jude no cobra ni un centavo para nosotros significa quitarnos todo ese estrés, esa preocupación y podernos enfocar en nuestra hija.
That was the first thing I was like, how are we going to do this? When St. Jude told us that we didn't have to pay a single bill, I was like, wow. They pretty much have saved us.
It's like the world has been lifted off of your shoulders, and now your focus is supporting this child.
There is not another hospital like St. Jude. The patient care is unmatchable. It saved my life. It saved my daughter's life. It saved our family.
My name is Bill Kaufman, and I have been a gang member for 14 years. I am very excited and impressed with the new MV1 and MV2 software chart. I love the easy readability. Bill has added pre- and post-market candlesticks and the ability to create stock lists. The charts can now be viewed on your smartphone or tablet. I would recommend the Max Vector 1000 chart to any type of investor.
Find out more at philsgang.com or call 877-600-4264, 877-600-4264. Welcome back to the Phil's Gang Show. Learn, invest, and profit with Phil Grande. And be sure to check out philsgang.com.
And welcome back to Phil's Gang. It is now 34 past the hour. Okay. We're talking about the stock market being manipulated. We know it's been manipulated through stock buybacks. We know that. But you got it. We've had a 120% rally in this market since 2009. Now we're hitting a point. Now the market's struggling trying to go higher. We're 1% from an all-time high. when we have the worst profits, the worst earnings were 1%. Can you imagine what a divergence that is? How can you be 1% away from all-time high, and you got the worst revenues, the worst negative, the worst profits you got in history, and yet we're at 1% away? That's just crazy. So the idea of the MV2, where it's going to help you, this chart. Before the break, we talked about GDX. GDX has dropped 17%. So you would have known, if you had those profits, you would have known to get out, and you would have kept that 17%. Better yet, you would have shorted it. Just hit the button that says sell short, and that 17% that went down, that was yours. Now, you don't even have to get the whole 17%. If you get in later, if you're worried, you sit back a little bit. And if you got 10% of it, you got 7%. But the key is you would know when the stock is hitting, it's over. It's going down. You can sleep at night. See, that's the beautiful thing about the MV2, because it measures and follows the institutional money. So as they start taking it out, they don't take it out all at once. Then all of a sudden, when enough is taken out, it starts turning red. So you have a heads up. When's the last time you ever got a heads up? Did you get a heads up with the .com crash? Did you get a heads up with the financial crash? No. But this, you do get a heads up. And I'll prove it. I'm going to give it to you for 4 weeks, and you'll see it works. Here, let's take another one. NUGT. Nugget. Now, just the other day, we got a signal on that, turned from red to green, and on August 15th. August 15th. It's down 45% now. See, most people, green for red, most people would call their broker. What should we do? What should we do? And he's going to tell you, stay in. Of course he's going to tell you to stay in. Why? You don't know the institutional money's coming out. You don't know it's turning red. You have no clue. He's telling you to stay in because that's how he makes his money. He makes his money by you staying in, because he gets paid on the amount of money that's in the fund, not by the amount of money he's making for you. See, it should be tied to performance, how much he's making for you. Give him 50% of it. Give him 60% of it. You're better off giving him 60%. At least he's on your side. But they're not. So he's going to convince you to stay in. Now the stock goes down, and you get back most of your profits. So GDX is down 17%. Nugget's down 45%. And these are the beautiful gold stocks that we bought back in December of last year. And I told my gang, this is where we're going to make our money, 2016. And most of these stocks are up 100%, 120%. You think we're going to give that back? No. So try it. And I'll make a deal with you. All I'm asking you to do, I'll give you the MV2 for 4 weeks, free. You just got to join the gang, pay the membership, $39.95 for 1 month, and you get the MV2 free for that month. And all I ask is at the end of the month, you like it, and then now you start paying for it, and you're doing well with it, please remember St. Jude. That's all I ask. Help St. Jude, okay? All right. It's unbelievable what's going on. You know, the Clinton Foundation, I don't know how people can vote for this woman. These people are crazy. You know, large corporations, when global corporations, you know how corporations got so big? If you go back decades, what they would do, the global corporations, they would go and identify poor nations, poor countries. And in those poor countries, they'd make sure they had gold, or they had some metal, they had some commodity, oil. And then what they would do is the corporation would go over and say to the warlord or the dictator, sometime a president, hey, we're going to come in and we're going to fix your roads. We're going to build an electric plant because we're going to get the oil out of the ground. We're going to get the gold out of the ground. We're going to give you the money, okay? But what we're going to do is this: we're going to bring in our companies that they know what they're doing. They're going to build the roads for you. They're going to build the gold mines. They're going to build the oil drilling rigs, all that for you. No, it's a beautiful deal. But here's what they didn't tell the warlord or the president of the country: that they were going to make sure they loaned them enough money they could never pay it back. Then when they couldn't pay it back, the corporations would go back and say, well, you can't pay us back, so I tell you what we're going to do. We're going to forgive the note, but you got to give us now all the oil, all the copper, all the coal. You give it to us and we'll drop the note. And they did that. That's how the corporations became global, screwing poor countries. Or they'd get in bed with the warlord, pay him off, or the president. That's how these corporations grew. They'd go in and make sure that in the money that they gave them either came from the World Bank or they came from the Treasury of the United States. And they did that with every country. That's why, by the way, Obama hates UK. The UK did that, but they did it differently. They weren't doing it for corporations. They did the same thing, but they did it for themselves, for the country, and they expanded all over the world. And they made everybody a colony. And that's why Obama hates Great Britain, hates the United States. And that's what they did to Africa. And I mean, it's just amazing. Now, the Clintons are doing the same thing, but in a different way. They're just doing it in a different way. That's all. And listen, this is from last night. This is unbelievable. Listen to this. This is from that station.
Business in Africa means you're dealing with dictators who are going to give you access to, say, mineral rights or oil drilling rights, but you're going to have to pay them off. The Clintons partner with foreign entities who want access to Africa, and specifically mining companies or energy companies who need to get concessions for access to oil or natural gas or the rights to mine for gold. Those two make a powerful alliance because these companies will give money to the Clintons, either in the form of speaking fees or in the form of donations to the Clinton Foundation. And the Clintons will then, in effect, do their bidding before the halls of power and corridors of power in Africa.
They were basically cutting deals, lucrative deals, worth potentially hundreds of millions of dollars with these warlords. And the expectation was simple. These warlords would take power, then they would give them access to these lands where they could make huge amounts of money exploring for natural gas, exploring for oil, and for mineral rights. Swedish mining investor Lucas Lundin has pledged $100 million to the Clinton Foundation. He did that in 2007. And his most lucrative mining operations are in the war-torn country of the Democratic Republic of Congo. By the time Lucas Lundin made his $100 million pledge to the Clinton Foundation, his Congo operation was making, quote, staggering profits, end quote, according to his own financial statements. His overall capitalization was $20 billion. But for those profits to remain staggering, U.S. policy under Hillary Clinton had to remain unchanged.
And you see, there's a federal law in the United States which says if foreign governments that receive U.S. assistance aren't transparent in how they spend that money, that they will not be able to get U.S. foreign assistance anymore. It's about transparency. But there's a way around that law. You can get a waiver from that law. How? By getting the U.S. Secretary of State to grant you a waiver.
We intend to remain very supportive. The future for Nigeria is limitless.
What was happening commercially to the Clintons while this was going on? Bill Clinton, for the first time ever, gets paid highly lucrative speeches in Nigeria.
That's unbelievable, isn't it? What an operation. We'll be right back after this break. 43 past the hour.
Want more information on this show? Go to philsgang.com or give them a call at 877-600-GANG.
Hi, I'm Phil Grande at philsgang.com. You hear me talk about 401ks every day on my radio show. Why? Because it's such a disservice. 89 million Americans have a 401k. There's 638,000 plans. And the father of the 401k, Ted Brenner, even admitted they're a scam. He doesn't endorse them anymore because of the ridiculous fees. You got to get away from those fees. Remember, every 1% fee, they take 30% of your retirement money. The average fund is 2.5%. 60% of the money is going to be gone when you're ready to retire. You don't need to do that. There's an alternative. Join my gang, philsgang.com. philsgang.com. Seek out the alternative. Give yourself a break. philsgang.com. Sign up today.
Find out more at philsgang.com, philsgang.com, or call 877-600-4264, 877-600-4264, 877-600-4264.
Hi, I'm Phil Grande at philsgang.com. You know, people make it too complicated. Wall Street tells you the market cap and the trailing PE and the forward PE and price to sales to confuse you. All you need to know is, does the stock have volume? What's that mean? Energy. What does that mean? If you have people buying a stock, enough of the stock's being bought, it influences the prices to go up. Join my gang, philsgang.com. We're using charting, philsgang.com.
For more information, go to philsgang.com or give us a call. That's 877-600-4264.
Do you invest in a 401k or an IRA? Did you know you could lose 30, 40, even 50% of your investments when the market crashes? It's time you take control of your investments. For over 15 years, philsgang.com's Phil Grande has been teaching, coaching, and investing right along with all Phil's Gang members, making profits when the market is up or down. philsgang.com posts daily market updates, has a live investing class, and all material is archived. Sounds too good to be true? Why not join thousands of satisfied Phil's Gang customers today? Go to philsgang.com, philsgang.com, or call 877-600-GANG. That's 877-600-4264, 877-600-4264.
For more information, simply go to philsgang.com or call 877-600-GANG. That's 877-600-4264.
philsgang.com.
As a mother, you don't want to have to worry about this bill is coming, but then she needs this chemo. That's a decision you shouldn't have to make.
At St. Jude, a family never sees a bill at all. It's like the world has been lifted off of your shoulders.
The treatment doesn't get any better than what you receive at St. Jude. It saved my life. It saved my daughter's life. It saved our family.
St. Jude Children's Research Hospital. Finding cures. Saving children. Learn more at stjude.org.
Hi, I'm Phil Grande, philsgang.com. It's always about fees. That's right. It's always about fees. When you're investing in anything, it's about fees, but especially 401ks. Let me explain to you how you get screwed with a 401k. Nobody will tell you this. You'll be told with a $25,000 investment, your 401k will return 7%, and over 30 years, you'll retire with a nest egg of $226,000 with a fee of 0.5%. That is a lie. Do you know if you just bump it from 0.5% to 1.5%, that $226,000 drops to $160 with 2% fee? It drops to $123. But you know what most fees are? 3%. So you're going to drop almost below $100,000. Join my gang, philsgang.com, and get rid of that 401k. It is not for your benefit.
Isn't it time you reduce your fear of investing? Find out more at philsgang.com, philsgang.com, or call 877-600-4264, 877-600-4264, 877-600-4264. Are you ready to make profits in the stock market? Why not check out philsgang.com or give us a call, 877-600-4264.
What was happening commercially to the Clintons while this was going on? Bill Clinton, for the first time ever, gets paid highly lucrative speeches in Nigeria, which had never happened before. In fact, he gets paid to do 2 speeches for $700,000 apiece by a businessman in Nigeria who just happens to be close with the president of that country. She flew in with her political aides on a large federal airplane. She landed at the airport. She made a large press conference, made statements about her commitment to rebuilding this country, and then she was soon whisked away, headed back to Washington, D.C.
The international community responded in the way that you would expect it to. That is, large amounts of money were committed.
I want to assure the people of Haiti that the United States is a friend, a partner, and a supporter.
Hillary Clinton's State Department would oversee the reconstruction effort, and Bill Clinton, already appointed special envoy to Haiti for the United Nations, was named co-chair of the Interim Haiti Recovery Commission. So this was clearly a Clinton operation from the beginning. Now, the Haitians had their own ideas about how best to rebuild their country. They wanted new roads. They wanted buildings rebuilt. And that's what you would expect. The problem is that the Clintons had their own agenda. the interests of major donors who had a vested interest in spending that money in Haiti in ways that would benefit them.
And Haitians complained almost immediately that they were shut out of the decision-making process, that it was really Bill Clinton and a few of his friends that not only didn't benefit the Haitian people, but ended up putting money in the pockets of major Clinton donors who had economic stakes in Haiti.
Wow. Isn't that unbelievable? So basically what they do, I mean, Hillary's got it made. Any country that's in trouble, hurricane or whatever, they come to Hillary because she's the Secretary of State. And so she knows where the pickings are. So they'll go to some country like Haiti and say, all right, we'll give you $100 million, okay, from the Treasury, but we're not going to give it to you. We don't give it to you personally. What we're going to do is give it to George, my friend. And George is going to build the roads, and George is going to build the schools, George is going to build all that. And they say to George, we're going to we got $100 million for the Treasury, and what we want, we're going to give it to you, we're going to give you the contracts. However, we want about $20 million for our charity. And then that's how they build their empire. So they get the 20 million, and they give back 9.9% in charity. The rest goes into their pockets. That's criminal. So why is it that she's still heading to polls? Now, I just noticed another headline. Trump gains 12 points on Hillary in 10 days. Well, that's good news. So she's on this spread in most of the polls now about 2 to 3 points. So that's good news. But I don't understand how these people how could they defend this? How could anybody defend this? The corruption. It's like with the Keystone Pipeline. Listen to this.
TD Bank had never sponsored a speech by Bill Clinton before. And then suddenly, in late 2008, when Hillary Clinton has been announced to be the Secretary of State, and when sitting on her desk is the matter of the Keystone XL pipeline, they suddenly decide to sponsor these speeches.
And when people realized that the Clintons had pocketed about $2 million at the precise time Hillary Clinton was making this decision, and in the case of the Keystone XL pipeline, they seem to have abandoned their principles, their commitment, as it was, to combating global warming and dealing with our dependence on fossil fuels. They jettisoned that when $2 million showed up and suddenly came out in favor of the Keystone XL pipeline.
Unbelievable, isn't it? It's the same thing in the stock market. You got the plunger team. Okay? Everybody's connected. The 5 percentile of this country is connected to everybody. It's like a little club. So they decide when they're going to raise stock prices, when they're going to lower prices. They know where they're going to go up to. They know where they're going to go down to. That's what's going on now. So the plunger team has taken out the price discovery. Price discovery is when everybody bids against each other, decide what price you want of gold, AU. We decide how far it's going to go down, how far it's going to go up. No more. The plunger team decides. They decide every morning. So that's why I developed the algorithms for MV2. Because I said, all you need to know, people don't need to know anything about a company anymore. They don't need a broker anymore. What do they need to know about the company? What they sell? No. They have to know what the earnings are? No. Because they're not buying earnings anymore. Stock prices are going up. Historic stock prices. When earnings are going down. Profits are going down 8 times faster than the profits. I mean, it's unbelievable. Earnings are dropping. Profits are dropping. But the stock price is going up 8 times faster. It's amazing. So I said, let's make it simple for the folks. Let's design something that just follows the institutional money. That's it. So that's what we designed. And just like, for example, I gave you, I just gave you GDX. It identified for us when institutions are pulling the money out, and it's so far down 17%. So that means the gang is out. They got out before it started to go down, or as it went down. Now, is your broker, your planner, or anybody doing that for you right now? Are they calling you and telling you if you're in mining stocks or gold? Are they telling you right now, or did anybody call you and say when it turned what day the money started to come out? Did anybody tell you what day the money started to come out on Lockheed Martin? That was another one. That's another one, Lockheed Martin. And Lockheed Martin, everybody was in Lockheed Martin. I know everybody's in Lockheed Martin. And that's one of the stocks in most of the 401ks. And Lockheed Martin, it was green, and all of a sudden it turned red. It turned red on August 22nd at $256. And it dropped down to $238. So that's a 7%, but you wouldn't have lost that 7% because you would have been out. You would have been out because you would have saw it turn red. Look, it works. I'm not making this up. If I had millions of dollars, I could put this on TV. I'd sell a gazillion of them. But you can't show people on radio. Now you come to my site and see it. So the best thing I said is then what I'm going to do is get everybody free. Join the gang for $39.95. And $39.95, and then you get this for 4 weeks to try. Now also, don't forget you're a gang member, so you get everything from the gang. You get my free coffee talk in the morning, you get my updates during the day, you get my market wrap, you get so much. Nobody gives what I give for $39.95. But this is something the whole family can use. You can start showing your kids how to do it. And tell your kids, hey, just tell me when it turns red, or just tell me when it turns green. It works. And I'm going to prove it over 4 weeks. And you're going to be my ambassadors, and you're going to tell 10 more people, then 10 more people. And then we sell a boatload of them. And then everybody starts giving money to St. Jude. That's all I ask you to do. And so it's only $24.95. And at the end of 4 weeks, if you don't want to be a gang member anymore, and you just want to use this on your own, go ahead. It's just $24.95, that's all. It works. So here, 877-600-GANG, 877-600-GANG. Try it right now. Call right now. They're there. They'll take it. Okay? All right. They'll take your order right now. 877-600-GANG or 877-600-4264. It's just mind-boggling. Listen to this. I can't figure out why people are supporting her. And listen to this guy, Cuban.
She's admitted, though, she's saying that she made a mistake. She should not have done it. She shouldn't have had this server in her home. So you don't think that she did anything wrong with the handling?
No, I really don't. I think the whole time she had a very specific process in place.
Is Mark Cuban that stupid? Is he that stupid? He can't be. He's a gazillionaire. He can't be. Okay, if you want to see the whole video of Clinton, just go to our free video link. Go to my site, philsgang.com. We posted the whole program. I gave you excerpts, okay, of the Clinton and the documentary on them to show what crooks they are. But you can go to my site right now. We have the whole show posted there for you, the documentary. Under free videos, it'll be interesting to go. Your jaw would drop. You won't be able to understand why anybody is voting for her. Hey, go right now, 877-600-GANG, and sign up for your free MV2 so you don't get caught when the market goes down. You won't, believe me.
You have been listening to Phil's Gang with your host, Phil Grande, on the Off the Wall Street Radio Network. Off the Wall Street Radio Network. Remember to visit Phil's website at philsgang.com. That's philsgang.com. Or call the office, 877-600-4264. That's 877-600-4264.
Hi, I'm Phil Grande.